Hi, hello, yeah, okay, we're gonna go with that. So I've tried to record this video like a good 2 or 3 times now, and here we are again. So I decided that I wanted to do a video about college, talking about like all of the things that I went through to put me in the position that I am in now, and kind of go through everything I did and what I wish I had done differently. Because most of the people, if not all of the people watching this, are friends of mine that are about to go off to college or are in the application process, either juniors or seniors in high school. So this one's for you. Okay, so I'm kind of just gonna get into it. I have a list of things over here to the side to kind of just go through. So one of the first things I want to talk about is applying early. It's super important that you apply early, because if you apply like regular decision, you're not going to hear back until probably like March or something like that. Whereas if you apply early, you'll get to know sooner and you'll have more time to really weigh out your options and things like that. So I just recommend applying early. So the next thing I want to get into is the number of colleges that you apply to. So I applied to 10 colleges. You don't need to apply to 10 colleges. That's pretty much the point that I want to get at, is you really only need to apply to maybe like 4 or 5 at most. And to go into the next thing that kind of bounces off of that is you need to make sure you're applying to schools that you genuinely believe that you would want to go to. And the way that you're going to know this is if you tour schools. So one of my best advice pieces, I guess, would be to go and tour all of the schools as early as possible. Any ones that you're considering. And I would do this, if you're still a junior in high school, I would do this junior year instead of pushing it to senior year, because the early application deadline is going to be in like October or something, and you don't really have enough time to do all of the things you're going to need to on top of touring colleges. So I would just get the touring part out during junior year or the summer before senior year. And with touring colleges, it'll really give you that feel of what it's like to be on campus, and it'll let you know if that's something that you'd really be interested in or not, because honestly, it makes a huge difference from when you actually go and see what it's like. So yeah, going back to what I said right before this, is you really only need to apply to about 4 or 5 colleges. I applied to 10 because I was scared I was not going to get in anywhere, but you will, I promise, you're going to get in somewhere, so you don't need to stress about that, honestly. The next thing that I want to talk about kind of goes a little bit back to the applying early thing, just a little bit, is basically don't wait until the last minute to make your decision about college. Yes, you have time, and you could if you really wanted to, but I waited until April to make my decision of where I was going, and technically decision day is May 1st. So I really had less than a month before I decided which college I was going to. And let me be very honest, it was so stressful waiting until the last minute to really pick a college. I had so many mental breakdowns just trying to figure out where I was going, and it was super stressful, and you really don't need added stress to your life. So like I said in the first point, apply early, that way you don't have to wait until last minute to make your decision. It's also just really nice to be February of your senior year and being oh, I know where I'm going already, I'm getting really excited about it, instead of being super stressed out because you still haven't made a decision. The next thing, which is probably my most important piece of advice I guess I could give, is don't have one dream school in mind. It's good to have goals and stuff like that, but honestly, if you're going to have one dream school in mind, that can be kind of hard and devastating, because you could get rejected from that dream school and freak out and not know what you're gonna do. So basically, in my specific situation, I had a dream school, and I ended up applying regular decision for this one school. Out of all the 10 I applied to, this was the one school that got regular decision. So I waited until March until I heard back from this one school, and when I didn't get in, I was freaking out because I didn't have anywhere else that I really wanted to go. I thought I could do it. I thought deep down that I had managed to let myself be open to other ideas, but honestly, I really wasn't. And when I got rejected from this school, I was devastated. So, like I said, my biggest piece of advice is just to have, couple of schools that you really, really would like to go to. And if there is a dream school, I'm not saying don't have one. I'm just saying it would be good to maybe have more than one. Okay, so my last thing that I want to get into is something that I did do, but I wish I had done a little more with. So, like I said, I did get rejected from my dream school, which put me in a terrible position because I really had no idea what I wanted. And out of the 10 schools, I narrowed it down to 3. And out of those 3, I still was very confused on what I wanted. So, my next piece of advice would be to make lists. Like, it sounds cheesy, but you could make, like, for example, pros and cons lists, stuff that each school has and what they don't have, and then make a list of things that are important to you. And by important, I mean, like, deal breaker important. And you need to be very strict on yourself about this, because there are going to be certain things on this list that are going to be way more important to you than others. And if you don't highlight them, you could potentially end up in a school where you are unhappy. I feel like I didn't really focus enough on this list, and I wish I had more time to really weigh out my options, when really I only had about a month to a month and a half to do it, and it was very stressful. And I ended up here at East Carolina University, which I'm not terribly upset about, but I probably am going to transfer. Which, I'm not saying that East Carolina University is a terrible school. I know a lot of my friends here really love it here, but it's not for me anymore. So, well, I guess it never really was, but here we are. Alright, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, thanks. If you watched it, thanks. So that was pretty much my, like, advice on how to pick the right college for you. My experience and what I wish I had done differently. I'm considering maybe doing, like, talking about my experience with transitioning into college, because that was a big life change for me. So if you're interested in seeing that one, let me know. And yeah. Alright, bye.